What's up, everybody? I believe everything is live now. How's it going? My name is MrHurriicane, and welcome to today's stream. We're going to be making a draft class together. We are going to make the Madden 19 MrHurriicane themed draft class. It's going to be a really fun project to put together that's going to feature some of your favorite players across many series that I've done. Everything's on the table. I want to put a lot of players into this class and then let you all use it. And you can do whatever you want with it, whether it's doing something YouTube related or just whatever you want to do. But I'm not even sure if I'm going to use it. I hope I can find a way to incorporate it somehow into something. But I'm going to make this class. We're going to work on it together. And then we'll see what happens with it. But welcome everyone to the live stream today. How is everyone doing on this Tuesday afternoon? No, I'm not creating people in the comments. I'm creating players that are from a variety of series, and some of your suggestions in the comments will be used to create the players here. So this is going to take a little bit of time, but what we're going to do is focus mostly on getting the framework of the class done today. I want to get some names on here. I want to get some schools and maybe some key ratings. I won't work much on appearances today, but I want to get kind of a framework for this class figured out. One thing I'm also going to do is just make everything more balanced. There's not going to be 5 first-round quarterbacks, so I'm going to also make this class custom where I think that the ratings make more sense and that the positions make more sense for how they're laid out. We're not going to have 5 first-round receivers in here, but I do want many of the best players to be from a variety of series I've done. So maybe you have a chance to go and draft Reggie Shepard, but your division rival, they select Nate Bell, and now you've got to go head-to-head against the GOAT. So that's what we're going to be doing today, everybody. Got a super chat here from Toasted Network. Can you make a Kalispell NCAA basketball stream? All right, I tweeted something out over the weekend about how I was wondering if there was a college basketball game where I could do some creation. And I have College Hoops 2K8 on the way, and I do plan to do something with Kalispell. What's going on, Blackjack? Gimmick infringement. This is a cease and desist. You've been warned. You did give me this idea. I've sat in and lurked on some of your creation streams. I think I even texted to you that I was going to do this, but how's it going, Blackjack? Hope you're streaming sometime soon. I could use something to watch. Robert Wagner sends one. Andy McKenzie, first rounder. Yeah, you can count on Andy McKenzie being in here. I think that a lot of the first round is going to be custom, and then as you go into the draft, a little bit less custom. Not every player is going to be unique or a custom player, but a lot of them are going to be. I'm not sure how many. We'll figure that out as we go. And then I want to get the framework going here. Let's get some names, positions, and their round value. And then we'll fill in the gaps. And we'll start to throw in equipment and some ratings. And I'll do a lot of this on my own too. It might take a couple of streams to nail this perfectly, but I want to give you all a great draft class. I would love for this to be done before the end of the year. We'll see how much we can get done here in a short amount of time. Got a lot of super chats coming in. Let me catch up. Glad you're doing this, actually. It's the most fun thing to do in Madden this year, honestly. Man, creation never gets old. When you have a good idea and you can unleash it, it gives a lot of life to these games. And Blackjack has taught me that more than anybody on YouTube. Got another one here from SportsFan98. First off, congrats on the wedding. Also, make an extremely athletic blocking tight end who is very dangerous after the catch but raw in the receiving game, and a versatile 6'1", 210-pound DB that can play safety, slot, and linebacker. So I'm not going to be doing like personal requests for different players, but I might even maybe I stick with some players who are already in here. And I'll go for, like, let's take Tommy Phelps, for instance, and I'll edit him to fit something that I think makes sense. So I'm going to be editing players that aren't even just from my series. Like, all these power backs who are basically the same, high break tackle, high carrying, high vision, high strength, mid 80s speed. I'm changing all of that. I'm changing heights, weights, ratings. So when you get your hands on this class, it's going to feel like a better class than you get from the game typically. It's going to be a little different in the sense that, yeah, there are going to be some really good beast players that you'll recognize from past series. And the more series that you've watched, the more players you'll know, the more of an advantage you'll have using this class. So you can unleash it in your online franchise with your buddies and maybe cheat, because that's quite frankly what it would be. You're a cheater if you do that, but all's fair, I guess. But I'm going to make this class make a lot more sense than it normally does, and I think that you'll like what we come up with here. Hungry Gamer. Kane is late for his streams as much as he throws INTs. Got to be good at something. I always say I have a very narrow area of expertise. I'm good at like 4 things in life, and I stick to those 4 things. Sometimes it's only 2 or 3 things. Unfortunately, some of the good things aren't all that positive. But yeah, thank you, sports fan, and all of you that have congratulated me on getting married last week. It's really exciting. Definitely exciting. Doesn't really feel different, but it's still exciting. I like it. Yeah, I'm on PlayStation, so I'm sorry for those of you on Xbox or PC. I don't have a way to get you this class, but the guide's gonna be here if you want to kind of make some of this stuff on your own. I know that's not ideal, so it is a PlayStation class. Sorry. I have a player franchise where I put myself in the class and simmed, had no control which team drafted me. That is a lot of fun. I think that is an amazing idea. I have seen some people do that before, and I think that if you want that kind of an experience, especially like right now with the NFL season winding down, if you want to plug yourself in, sim, and see who takes you next year, say you do a cloud franchise and you end up going through to you pick up where the season left off, so you have like everybody with their records and a lot of the development that's gone on, then you can just throw yourself into a team and have some fun during the NFL offseason like that. Thank you for the super chat, Chandler. This is also the first stream I've done since channel memberships have been active on the channel. I will be making a video talking about that. I have talked about this in past streams, the channel membership feature. If you hit the join button or the link in the description there, it is it's an option that's pretty similar to, say, subscriptions on Twitch. It's $4.99 a month, and it gets you a couple perks along with access to the emojis that I'm putting in chat right now. I'm also going to be having more, and the more members there are, the more emojis I can potentially create for this. But if you do choose to become a member, it helps support the channel in a financial sense, which obviously, being a creator, you always have to just keep that in mind. It's not required in any way. You don't feel like you need to. It's completely up to you. If you do become a member, you get access to those emojis, and you're also going to have access to an exclusive live stream every month, along with some early links to videos. When I have some stuff done ahead of time, I will give out those early links through the community tab in a members only post. Not going to be like every video or super often. I actually haven't even done it yet, but I will. I have some stuff planned. But also the exclusive live stream that I do is going to be once a month. This month's is going to be on Saturday in the early afternoon before the football games start. So in those live streams, it's going to be for Q&A. We can just hang out and talk, and we're also going to talk a little bit about the channel, the series, ideas I have, and it'll just kind of be more of a close-knit, I guess, kind of deal there. So that's what it gets you if you choose to become a member. Completely up to you. Don't feel like you have to do it or anything. Kane, is there a more direct way to donate to you? No, super chats or becoming a member is what there is. And thank you, Kyle Hummel, for becoming the newest member. The new member. I appreciate it. And again, if you want to become a member, there's the join button next to the subscribe icon. And if that isn't showing up, maybe you're on iOS. I'm not sure if it shows up on iOS. But there's a link in the description that should take care of anything there. And with that, I think we should get into creation here pretty soon. But I think we all know that Andy McKenzie is going to be a big part of this, and obviously I'd love for him to be the top quarterback in this draft class. We've had some good quarterbacks come across the channel, and McKenzie's been so iconic. He's had a career mode series. He was, of course, the leader of the Minnesota Gophers, and us finally becoming good in that series. So again, I'm not going to edit everything with like faces and all the deep customization, but I want to get just some baseline stuff in here. And then I can fill in the gaps when I have some free time. I can come in and just edit the player for like 10 minutes and get them done. But I want to get names and stuff rolling here. And thank you for all those that are becoming members right now. I appreciate that. Thank you to... Looks like the channel membership tab is a little slow to upgrade here. Slow to update, rather. We got a Bears fan here, Ryan. I'm sure you're enjoying your Bears this season. So yeah, stuff like height and weight, I'm going to have to go back and find some info on these players, and then age and whatnot. I might, this stream is mainly going to be focused on getting names in here and then kind of assigning a value to that player. And then maybe I'll do another stream where we fill in some gaps, and then I'll do some stuff on my own. So Andy McKenzie is definitely going to be a part of it. For some reason it has him as Alabama there. I guess I didn't change that. Adjust order. What happens when I drop this down? Okay, it changes the, going from 10 to 19. Okay, I'm really confused how this works. I have never done this before. But basically, I'm assigning their value in a way. I do want McKenzie to kind of be the quarterback of this class. And he'll be the Andy McKenzie that you all knew. The new member, Blackjack21 Sports. By the way, Blackjack's done a lot to help out the Kalispell Warhawk Dynasty. I'd appreciate it if you were to check out his Twitch streams sometimes. He does a really good job over there at twitch.tv/theblackjackxxi. I hope that's right. He also does his Dynasty over there with the Festivus. Do they even have a name? I'm not even sure. Oh, come on. He breaks out the INT emojis right away. Can I get a happy birthday shout out, Kane? Happy birthday, Josh! I don't know how old you are, but I bet you're going to have a great time today. I'm guessing you're 21. So yes, McKenzie, not 6'6", not 231 pounds. I'll fix that stuff as we continue. I'm laying the framework today. So what quarterbacks do we think should be in this class? We have Andy McKenzie. Yeah, that's the Jokers. I don't know how I didn't remember that. I just think of him as Festivus. I think of him as the team that gets blown out by Troy. McKenzie, Greenberry, Bulaga for a bust. Heikkinen, Mason, and Hartman. Marcus Calhoun, Andrew Johnson, 4th to 5th rounder. I think I like that idea a lot. Yeah, Andrew Johnson, of course, helped us win a national championship all those years ago. We need to include him in some way. Thank you to all the new members that are joining right now. Again, this tab that I have for channel memberships is slow to update, so all the names aren't exactly showing up. It's a couple minutes delayed, but I'll get around to thanking everybody. So far, thank you to Kyle, Ryan, Blackjack. Then it looks like Travis and McDude. Andrew Johnson's going to be in here. JR Battle. For JR, where do we think that he would be? Rico Lico. Thank you. I like when you message in chat here because I get to say your name more often. Marquise Walker. Yeah, there are going to be some positions that end up a little stacked. I'll have to think about how I want to do that, because I don't want it to be where like 10 teams all of a sudden get a franchise quarterback necessarily. But I mean, to have a handful of really good quarterback prospects isn't too out of the ordinary. Brock Wall. You guys want Brock Wall as a late round pick? I forget where he was drafted in that series, honestly. Are you going to include players you played against as well, not just Kalispell, Minnesota, or UTSA? All right. Yeah, opposing teams' players are on the table as long as they were like relevant in some way. And also, franchise players that I drafted are on the table. So you can get the rookie version of Nate Bell. I'll go back and find his old ratings and translate them into what I think makes sense for this game. Same thing for Reggie Shepard. Those players are going to be in. So allow me to start editing them right now. And all these years have gone by, I still forget sometimes how to spell Shepard. I think it's 1P. I know that Reggie was 6'6". He went to USC. I know he's like 238 pounds or something like that as well. And then once this is created, maybe I'll find something to do with it. I don't know. I'm mostly making this for you guys. So we got Reggie in here. We're going to get Nate Bell. Now remember, Nate Bell was like a late first round talent or an early second round talent. I'll probably make him more of an early first round in this one, though. I know Nate Bell was 5'11". I know he went to Wisconsin. By the way, if you want to scroll here faster, if you hold left on the D-pad and left on the left stick, it goes a lot faster that way. And there's like 300 schools here, so you need that speed sometimes. Wow, there are so many W's. And preferred number is going to be 41. I'll get all the customization, you know, like these players as well. I need some great safety play from Shannon Evans. I think that's a great one to include. I know that a lot of suggestions are going to be coming in. I'm going to miss a ton of them, so just bear with me here. Yeah, we're going to get KJC in here. Thank you for the super chat, Adam. I appreciate that. Noah. Oh, that was the Shannon Evans one. Oh, Chandler also sent a super chat. Do you think McCarthy could come to Tampa? I think that would be a perhaps likely landing spot. A lot of connection has been made between the Browns with John Dorsey and having that Packer background and probably being very familiar with Mike McCarthy. And I think someone with that kind of experience would obviously be something that would be attractive to the Browns, considering they don't normally get established coaches, even though McCarthy, you know, hasn't had the best time lately. Still had a lot of division titles and playoff trips. And for UTS, or for Kalispell players, I think we're going to go Montana State. So I like Shannon Evans in there. No, we're not going to do IRL players because they're already in the game. So if I put in Hunter Henry, I know Stephen A. Smith would love that. He could draft him, but there would be 2 Hunter Henrys then. I don't know if this draft class is going to be used by me in a series. If I can get Dolphins back, this would not be something I would use because it's just a crazy class and I'm going to remember who's good. Obviously, I'm making it. Julian Wall's a great one. Yeah, Sammy Hollins. We're going to list him at strong safety, actually. I feel we'll have to get some balance there. Sammy Hollins, got to include him. I'm probably going to include everybody who was in the All-Star game. The Clemson Tiger. Man, that series was so old. That started on NCAA 13, right? I remember doing the Road to Madden 25, where I think I recreated him on NCAA 14 to play out one more year. Was that how that went? So Sammy Hollins will be in here. Marcus Calhoun. Let's go to the linebacker core. Now for Calhoun, I'm actually going to make him more of a mid-round pick, because that's what I think he really would be. I don't think he was like a Roquan Smith or a Luke Kuechly type prospect. His preferred number is going to be 56. Montana State. But I am excited to get my hands on College Hoops 2K8. Tell me, how good is that game? How excited should I be? One of the things that I'm excited about, I'm not sure if I'm doing like a full-on series or anything with it. I'm hoping to. I'm obviously going to make Kalispell on College Hoops 2K8. Not sure if it's going to be for the main channel or the second channel. Might work as a stream series. Might work better if I record and edit stuff. We'll have to see. But I'm so bad at basketball games. It'll finally make sense when I'm controlling like an upstart basketball team in the college ranks. Whereas in 2K, I was trying to figure it out with the Timberwolves, and I couldn't even make them look like a basketball team at times. But hey, if I'm terrible with a brand new college basketball team, at least it'll make sense. Sports Fan 98, make Sam Graves, Farrell Dunn, and Darren Rose. I like Graves on there, mostly so I can do the multicolored sleeves. His trademark look. Robert Wagner, what other coaching changes do you think will happen this year? I wonder how many coaching opportunities will open up. There aren't a lot of names floating out there right now about coaches who could take on jobs. So, maybe teams will, I think people will get fired regardless, and names will pop up that, we might not be talking about right now. I don't think there is team builder in that game. There isn't team builder, but there is a custom team option. I remember it kind of being fun, but it had a few issues. For the sake of NCAA basketball, I think it's the best option and pretty playable. Yeah, I just want something decent. I know it's not going to be perfect. Thank you, Frost Inferno 24. With how role-driven the NFL is, how much do you think it affects the draft stock of certain players and roster management? Take Tariq Cohen. He was drafted in the 4th versus taking Fournette at 4. Even though running back value has gone down. Yeah, there's gonna be kind of a tipping point, I think, at some point. And thank you very much for the super chat. But players are gonna demand they get paid by like their role and not their position. And I think the one thing that players need to absolutely fight for in the next CBA is going to be the elimination of the franchise tag, because it's a very anti-player thing to have. And when you have players who can be slotted in at running back, a position that is drastically changing, and they're catching as many passes as the receivers on their team, yeah, they should not be happy taking on the tag that obviously Le'Veon Bell isn't signing. So I think the teams that can envision a role for players, they're going to be, taken earlier than maybe expected, especially as players like Tariq Cohen and Tyreek Hill have all this success when they were only mid-round picks. So it's a fun time with the change in that sense. I think that it's great for the sport. I think it's great that many players are getting featured because of the game changing. So I hope that contractually things make sense for them. But to continue answering the question of Robert Wagner, and I'll catch up to these other super chats as we go. Other coaching changes I think will happen. I think the Bucks could clean house. I know they extended their GM through 2019, so I'm not sure if he gets another go at it. But I can see Dirk Cutter shown the door. I could see Adam Gase as well, especially if they really fall on their faces here. They didn't do well against the Vikings, and then they still have a couple games to go. Let's go running back position here. Other spots that could open up. I think potentially you could see the Lions fire Matt Patricia. I wouldn't say it's likely. I'd give it like a 15 to 20% chance of happening. That goes up if they lose by like 30 in their last 2 games. Anton Greenberry's got to be a part of here, of course. Anton Greenberry. The second channel is even going to be a thing that we can use here to bring in players. I like to think of them all as kind of a shared universe here. So the 2 marquee quarterbacks in this class are going to be Andy McKenzie and Anton Greenberry. There might be a couple other early options. Maybe we get in like an Ataki Mason or something. But I'm not really planning on doing too much at each position to make them too top heavy. But we're going to Louisville here for Anton Greenberry. I think that Todd Bowles could very well be fired as well. I think McDermott's safe because he's a defensive guy and the defense is good and they have a rookie quarterback, so that should buy him a year. I think there's also a very slim chance of Steve Wilkes getting fired. I hope not. Yeah, I'm not sure if anything else comes to mind, really. I was worried about Pat Shurmur, but that team is not playing quite as bad as they were before. So we got McKenzie, Greenberry, Andrew Johnson. Why don't we go late round here? And we're going to drop in an Al Cunningham. From the Madden 11 single season deal I did at the start of everything that's happened here, we're going to get Al Cunningham in here. Just a late round option. I forget his numbers, his school, his everything. We'll come back to that one. Doug Marrone might be gone. Yeah. I don't know, though. Brock Wall, Le'Veon Mullins. Okay, if I include Bo Lee, you got to make sure you end up with him because he can play like 48 different positions. I think including Bo Lee here makes sense. But where do I list Bo at? I'm not doing like faces and all the skin tones right now. I'm just getting all the core details. So when I'm in here later on, I can just fill in the blanks. I just want to get names and that first page of information in there, and then I'll go with like skin tones and heights and weights and all the other deeper information I gotta find. So where do we list Bo Lee? List him as a fullback, and then you can just kind of, because if he's at fullback, you can play him at running back, and you can also play him at tight end in that case. I actually forget Bo Lee's number. Can someone help me out with that quick? All right, let me catch up on Super Chats a little bit here. From Mark. Justin Colbert, 6th round, 71 overall, but star development. I think we can include maybe a Justin Colbert, and I like to also include Hayden John Charles. That's right, 15. I think Hayden John Charles, his college career is almost wrapped up, so I think it'd be great to throw him right into this class. The top of this class is going to be very heavy with the players that I am creating. Got to get Hayden and Kelly in here. $640 watching now. Fantastic. I'm very bad at remembering numbers sometimes here. Was Hayden 81? If not, correct me. Blackjack, is Hayden John Charles left or right-handed? You created him. Oh yeah, we're gonna get Donnie in here. We're gonna get Donnie, don't worry. The player I had to defend his entire career from the chat. Almost his entire career. All right, next one. Will Steve Wilkes stay as Cards head coach? This one's from Adam. I think so. I know the defense hasn't been awful this year, and that's what he has his hands on. The offensive line isn't even giving David Johnson a chance, so you can't really knock Rosen too much. Give them a year to maybe build up an offensive line a little bit, and we'll see what they can do. Love Ricky Seals-Jones on that team, Christian Kirk as well. So I think Wilkes is okay. Hayden John Charles is righty. You threw a pass with him. See, I forget things. I play so much stuff. We're going to make Donnie that classic, like, 4th round, really fast tight end that you don't know if he's actually any good or if he should just go back to playing basketball. Oh, by the way, I'm planning on making Donnie Castillo the Kalispell basketball coach. There you go. It was either going to be him or Rashad Williams. I thought they were both kind of like basketball athletes. Maybe even more so for Williams. Oh, yeah. Donnie wasn't really a burner. I think he can still be a vertical threat. He's not like Travis Kelce or George Kittle fast. I think he's more so in the area of faster than a Kyle Rudolph for sure. Maybe like present day Jimmy Graham. Roscoe Sheridan. How did I not address running back yet? I'm not sure yet where we should value Roscoe. I'm thinking kind of 3rd roundish. I could see him being one of those power backs that tend to go in this area. The OP power backs in college, the Leonard Fournettes of the world and such, they go early, but everybody else tends to go a little bit later. And you end up with like a steal in David Johnson or a Jordan Howard. So a lot of stuff is coming full circle here. Blackjack created a lot of players that went into the Kalispell series. No, I'm creating them here. There are so many M's. Hi, Kane. How are you today? I'm doing well, Norman. How about yourself? Alonzo Holland. Oh, man. I need to create Alonzo Holland. One of my favorites. I was so excited to debut him for all you guys. And you all remember how his career began, right? His first play ever, that long touchdown. We could just fill up this entire running back pool with players from that series. Tyrone Brightful, Steven Smiley. That's a fringe player. Maurice Pratt. I want to include Pratt because of he's got a more unique skill set than most running backs I would have created here. Definitely not a 3-down back type of player. He'll have lower injury probably and strength. Pratt. Oh man, this number is tough. I want to say Maurice Pratt. I feel like his number wasn't normal, but I can't remember. Was it like in the 30s or just something strange? What was Maurice Pratt's number, everybody? Got a super chat here from Mr. Turtle Gaming. I assume this will be a PS4 exclusive draft class. Also, please add in Big Papa from the Oakland Raiders franchise. Much love. Yes, PS4 exclusive only because that's kind of how it is when you make it here. Yeah, it was number 6. I knew it was weird. Oh, that's right, Minnesota for him. I think Big Papa as a late round quarterback is a great idea. Let's go Chad Schmidt and edit him. I wonder if there's like a character limit here in custom. Papa Yiannopoulos. For so many years, I just pronounced it like it's spelled, which is completely wrong. It's a Greek name. I was doing a horrible disservice to the name. But I think I got that right there in the spelling. EA Team Builder website is sunset. Yeah, I've seen that comment a couple times. That's not good news. I was hoping we get a little bit more use out of that. I can confirm the spelling a little bit later, but I think I almost nailed it. I also forget what number I gave him, so that's going to be one that requires a little more info, and I don't remember his school. So right now he goes to UTEP. The Miners. Dalton, have you put in your first Kalispell quarterback? I can't remember his name, but he would be a great late round scrambling quarterback. Oh yeah, we got to get Marquise Walker in here. Don't worry about that. Let's go right here. So for Marquise, I will be making him basically what he is at the start of the Marquise Walker career mode series. So like day one Marquise is going to be your day one Marquise. Does that make sense? By the way, for the Kalispell basketball stuff, do you think that makes more sense in video form or stream? I've been looking for a stream series, and that could fit perfectly. Yeah, let's get Ja'Cory Day in here. We're going to make him a mid-round pick. Ja'Cory's going to be kind of a returner specialist with a little bit of receiver upside if you act fast. So I'm going to make Ja'Cory, like if you want to make him a good receiver, I want to make his ratings in a way so that you really have to get to him as a rookie or a second-year player if you're going to turn him into the receiver you want him to be. Otherwise, he's just going to be kind of Cordero Patterson with a smaller frame. Stream it, says Blackjack. Stream, video. stream so chat can teach you how to play. That's a very good point. Rico. Adam, thank you for the super chat. What do you think of the Paul Goldschmidt trade to the Cardinals for Kelly and Weaver? Is that clever by the D-backs or not? I don't really feel like I have a good enough handle on those teams to know. That's a lot of pitching equity to give up, but big bat to the Cardinals there. I think that it's pretty sad that we're not going to see the Twins get Paul Goldschmidt. But for the Diamondbacks, who does that make kind of your cornerstone offensively then? Isn't AJ Pollock a free agent? And they're left with like Eduardo Escobar, Jake Lamb. I don't know all their team. I remember some from playing fantasy baseball. But yeah, they got to find someone new to build around, it seems, on offense. Thank you for the super chat, Sports Galaxy. And then Sports Fan 98. I realized the hybrid DB I proposed could be Starks because his weight would have made him a safety, dime linebacker, big nickel. He would have only been 5'11". That might be a great way to go with Starks. For Jordan Starks, where should we list him? Oh, and don't worry about the ratings. I see someone commenting here on Ja'Cory's speed. I'm not touching ratings right now. We're just getting the framework here. The players, and then we fill in gaps later on. Where should we list Jonathan Starks? I'm not even sure if I said Jordan, but I meant Jonathan Starks. Because I do think that a hybrid role would be right for him. I'm leaning towards strong safety. Because as a safety, you can play linebacker, but as a linebacker, you can't necessarily play safety. So I think strong safety. Donnie Castillo is already in. We're not doing just college players. We're also doing the rookie version of players I drafted in my franchises that you liked. Yeah, strong safety it is then. So you have Sammy Hollins out there. We're going to make Jonathan a mid-round pick, though. Just because, like, you're going to have to develop him into a finished safety. His skill set is perfect for, like, special teams, but you got to get him, like, a home on the field. And I think that you'll be able to the way I rate him. Okay, I'm blanking on the number he wore now. Jonathan Starks, 55. Right? Correct me if I'm wrong. Yeah, I have Reggie Shepard in here. We got to put KJC. Why not put Jordan Starks in? Jordan Starks, if he played, he'd probably also be a safety. But he'd probably be... Well, he got faster over the course of his career. Good hit power. Perfect 46 safety. Yeah, if you want to run that scheme. Yeah, let's get Perry Cummings in here too. We're going to make him an earlier running back prospect. So Perry Cummings, if you don't know the story with him, in my Browns rebuild this year, which was an amazing like 18-year series, I drafted a wide receiver late because I thought his combine was amazing. His name was Perry Cummings. And when I drafted him, it was kind of like a really good value pick, mid-70s wide receiver in like the 5th round, and it was a terrific value. But when I looked at his ratings, I saw like a mid-80s ball carrier vision. I saw very high elusiveness, spin move, juke. And I'm like, well, he can catch the football. He has great running back skills. What if we move him to running back? And immediately, he became like an 85 overall. And he became the day one running back. And within a year, he was a 99 overall. And that was with no XP sliders. It was with him winning Rookie of the Year getting so many yards, so many touchdowns and awards that he became a 99. So the journey of Perry Cummings was pretty awesome. Where did he go to school again? That was, I want to say Air Force. And I want to do a prequel Road to Glory with some players, including Anton Greenberry and Perry Cummings. That means with Perry, I would be running triple option. I don't know what position I'd have him play. I could consider having him be the quarterback, like Jerick McKinnon at Georgia Southern. Because if I play receiver at Air Force, he's going to get the ball like 3 times a game. Yeah, he might have been an 87 when he made the change. It was mid-80s. When is your next Cardinals series coming out? Today. I'm going to finish up the editing on it after this stream is over. And Perry Cummings' number was 23. So Perry has that halfback receiver flexibility, but he's going to be a really good scat back if you use him that way. Lawrence Glears. I can fit in Lawrence Glears. We're going to include a few from the Browns series. Lawrence Glears being one of them. One of the more iconic defensive players. I get to go through that series and try to figure out which draft class he came from. Cannot wait. If someone can help me on that, like what episode he gets drafted in, that would be incredible. So I can grab those ratings. Don't remember what school or anything. I think 59 was his number. Could be wrong, could be 53. 77 at wide receiver, 87 at running back. Yeah, when I saw that, it was like, oh, it's game over. So game over. Brock Oxendine should be in. That's a great idea. The first player we're going to include not from my a team that I had. And if you use this class, I want you to tweet me different things that happen with these players that happen in your series. Whether it be you draft a guy and he becomes rookie of the year, or someone on another team does really well. I want to see. I'm making this for all of you. All I ask is that you show me what happens. Lawrence Glears drafted episode 18. Thank you, Rico. Huge help. Huge help. Oh, yeah. Let's get Michael Tate in here. We got to go with some Road to Glory players, of course. Tate's going to be an early pick. He's going to be kind of the do-everything linebacker. He's going to be the Roquan Smith of this class. I could consider putting him at middle linebacker. Might even make more sense there. Yeah, let's do that. I think he just makes a lot more sense playing there. He's going to be a beast, too. Got a super chat here from Robert Wagner, running backs McKnight from Wisconsin, and also Rodney Rambo. Yeah, I was already having those two in mind, so I'm going to make them later rounders. What do you think of the upcoming college football playoffs? Also, can you do Troy Lee just for me? Perhaps I can fit in Troy Lee. I want to put in a bunch of running backs, of course. The college football playoffs. Basically, I just think that Alabama is going to be a tough team for anyone to knock out. Excited, though, to see what Kyler Murray in Oklahoma can do. I think Kyler is my favorite player to watch in college football. But, I mean, if you're going to hang with, was Christmas night number 42? I seem to remember that. But if you're going to hang with Alabama, you got to play defense. And who's going to play enough defense against them? Like, you can try to outscore them, and certainly Clemson and Oklahoma could try that route. But at some point, you're going to have to play defense in the second half of the game, not just the first. We know they can come back from that. Who's going to play second half defense when they get wore down by the running game and that offensive line all day long? I'm going to throw in Troy Lee in the undrafted pool if you don't mind. He'll be playable, though. Clemson has one last year with their godly front four. Yeah, I mean, Clemson has a lot of great edge rushers and defensive linemen, so if they're going to hang with them on the scoreboard, I think they have the defense to potentially make things tough. Then you got to wonder if Lawrence is ready already for these kinds of games. I think the Bears can beat anyone right now. I think any team that has the best defense in the league, and I'd say the Bears do have the best defense in the league, I do think they can hang with anybody. So, yes. But, of course, on offense, they've got to figure out, you know, how to make Trubisky's inexperience not so much of a big problem. I think Trubisky's been good, not great this season, but their use of their various playmakers on offense has been excellent. With Gabriel, they were using Gabriel like a true receiver, not just a gadget guy. At least earlier in the year they were. Anthony Miller's really good. Trey Burton, Cohen, of course. Yeah, the Bears are going to be a problem. Let's do some defensive linemen here. We haven't done much in this area. We have Brock Oxendine. I think we got to throw in Maurice Manning here. One of my favorite interior rushers I've ever had. For those of you wanting an update, by the way, on Dolphins, I don't really have one right now. I do see that there is another update from Matt 10 on Operation Sports, so I'm going to see what that's all about. But whenever I have news, like, you don't have to go far to find it. And I still want to play the series, absolutely. Especially because after this Twins season, I want to take a break from baseball until the new show comes out, and I'd like to get the Dolphins going again. Even if we can't make it as far as I want, I'd still like to play. Yeah, let's get Greg Kelly in there. There's not quite a long list of great edge rushers I've drafted or helped develop in my series. There are some really good ones, and we're seeing them right now in Kalispell along with last year in the series. But I feel like that's like one area where I haven't always created the most dominant players. What about Taquan Leighton, the biggest what if in the Kalispell series? Maybe it's like a boom or bust quarterback in here. I know we haven't seen him play. So I think if we made him kind of third, fourth round, that maybe he could become something. Maybe he's the developmental if you miss out early. Let me see how you pronounced his name again so I don't mess it up. Where'd it go? I lost your comment. Yeah, I was right. So I'll probably have him kind of a little bit lower rated than you'd probably expect, just because of the lack of experience. Didn't get to play, sadly. The problem with NCAA is that they develop quarterbacks too well, so it's very easy to be like an 89 overall, but be buried behind two guys in the 90s. Harold, did I miss your super chat? I apologize. You should do the Starks brothers and Cole Bulaga. P.S. Love the content. Congrats on 200K. Thank you. Yes, the channel hit 200K last week. Either the day I got married or the day before. One of the two. And I thought that when YouTube was purging subs that maybe it would go under 200K, but I didn't lose much. So, not hitting 200K twice, hopefully. And yeah, I apologize for missing the super chat. I've been slow on some of these because just so many were coming in at one time. Hungry Gamer, you gotta include some UTSA players now. Dominic Carter, Vince Taylor, Evan Newton, Darren Rose, Tim Whitaker, Eric Hancock. Yeah, we'll include some for sure. UTSA is a series that I'll always love. Hey, Kane, I'm a Packers fan. This is DJ Style Gaming. Hey, Kane, I'm a Packers fan. Sorry to hear that. And not really used to the kind of season, so do I cheer on the Bears or Vikings to win? Also, I got a job to finally do this. Well, congratulations to you. And yeah, as a Packer fan, especially a younger Packer fan, you're probably not used to the whole December football doesn't matter right now for us. So you don't cheer for the Vikings, you don't cheer for the Bears, because we would never do that for you. You cheer for preferably the Chargers, because you probably feel bad for them. We all feel bad for the Chargers. The same way I feel everybody feels bad for the Vikings. I think outside of like the NFC North teams and maybe the Saints from last year, maybe I feel like everyone at least like has a little bit of love for the Vikings, mostly out of pity. Harold, oh, that's the one I already read. Got a new one here, Chris Chills. Do you record your commentary live for the franchises? So everything on this channel outside of season recaps and live streams is post commentary. So I play Kalispell, edit it down, and do the commentary afterwards. Everything on the second channel is live. So the Cardinals series, I'm calling all those games as they happen. Marquise Walker, same thing. Whether you want to do live or post is totally up to you. I don't think you have to be pigeonholed into any specific one. So whatever you're more comfortable with, whatever comes out better. Yeah, let's do Lance Adams. To me, Lance Adams is still a what if, because he was literally Randy Moss recreated, but I wasn't quite able to get him there. And I think that if I had him on a different Madden, it could have been a very different story. The catch mechanics and whatnot, just, I couldn't do it. You couldn't use him the way you wanted to use him. Where is Roscoe? Roscoe Sheridan is one of the higher running backs I've actually put on here. Although these projection spots are just kind of placeholders for now. Once I see like every running back, I'm like, okay, we can't have like 18 third round running backs as much as I want to. But yeah, I think getting some UTSA action in here is a good idea. So give me your ideas, everybody. Outside of Dom Carter, because I'm about to make him right now. The player who most outplayed their ratings in Franchise Dynasty history is Dominic Carter. Now, what number was he? It was in the 50s. Could have been 59. Lamar Williams. Ooh, Lamar. I like that one. That's not a UTSA, but it'll work. I think Lamar would kind of be like a second-round pick. Potentially a first. Just because of the speed. I think he'd be like a Brian Quick prospect. That obviously did not work out. Although there was a time where Brian Quick figured it out and then got hurt. And it was kind of heartbreaking to see him come so far and then sent right back down. Like he was so close to figuring it out, it felt like. Lamar. Do you think Ron Rivera is on the hot seat? Yeah, I think that Ron Rivera's been on the hot seat like 48 times. And eventually one of those is going to be the one that, you know, ends it. I just wanted to save it in case anything happened. Not done. But if I had to predict right now, I'll say he doesn't get fired. I think he gets another year. If you're the Panthers, you're looking at probably needing to get some offensive line help. The team isn't terrible by any means, but you got to get some O-line help for sure. And you've got to get younger along your defensive line, especially at edge. They're not as far away as it may seem, but I think that Rivera's safe for now. Could be wrong, though. They might be just tired of this stuff, because the Panthers have been such a roller coaster ride. They've had some terrific seasons where they look like the best team in the NFC, and then their lows are really low, and we're seeing that now. Looks like Andrew Ross, not a bad one there. If you like tall linebackers, he's going to be a very late round option, so it'll be up to you to develop him. Or maybe the CPU will do a good job. I know he was very tall. I forget if he was 56. That sounds about right. Come on. I can't get off-handedness. Andrew Ross. Donnie Castillo is already in here. As a Panther fan, I want Rivera gone. Yeah, I can kind of understand that. Probably tiring to see these cycles repeat themselves. Martin Parker. Wow, that's a good one. I think Parker's a solid mid-round receiver. Number 15, right? I also really miss Terrence Johnson. So those of you that are really looking forward to the conclusion of this draft class, what do you plan to do with it? I'm curious. I'm going to put both Terrence Johnson and Martin Parker in here. And if you want to pair them up, you might be able to do it. I want to say number 82 for him. But for one game, who was it? Who got hurt? Was it Martin Parker who wore Johnson's 82 when he got hurt and then had the big game? Or was it the other way around? That was a cool story. Sammy Hollins is in here. Thank you for the super chat. I'm a New England fan, but my favorite NFC team is the Vikings because in a Madden 13 franchise with the Vikes, I progressed Tom Savage to a 95 overall and won 2 rings. That is amazing. Tom Savage. I remember the 5 minutes when Tom Savage was like a first round prospect. I remember a mock draft where he went number 33 overall. The problem with Tom Savage, and I've said this before, his mechanics are just too clean. His throwing motion was just so clean that when you watched him, you thought you were witnessing like greatness. And it was just like a lie. And now he's, trying to catch on as a backup quarterback. I remember though, mock draft with him at 33 overall. How would I ever forget that? I also remember when Syracuse guy was a first round pick. What was his name again? Syracuse quarterback was going to get drafted to, I think, the Bills, who then took E.J. Manuel. He ended up going in the 4th round. I think he backed up in New York, I want to say. So Blackjack will know who it is if I'm right about that detail. Oh, man. I can't remember who it is. But I think I'm right there on the details. Let's see. What positions have been hardly... Offensive line, obviously. Ryan Nassib, that's right. I remember when Ryan Nassib was a first round pick. You know why? I had him in my mock draft. I bought into the hype. Can you guys give me some offensive linemen, please? We are giving some love to the trenches. We're going to make Bryce Wiley right here. He's going to be your developmental athletic tackle. He's going to be like a Brian O'Neill. Delonte Moore. Gotta make him. Frederick Chickalow. Oh, Dalen Hoyt. Whoa. Yeah, I can't remember all the names or the numbers and schools for the offensive linemen as well. Let's put Chickalow on the right side here. Something. Yeah, the Texans did give Savage a chance. He got a chance, all right. I do remember when TJ Clemmings was a first-round offensive tackle, and then the steal of the draft when the Vikings got him in round number 4. Oh my, Jazario Dorsey. I remember that name, but I cannot remember the series. That sounds like a Panthers thing. Troy Evans. Should I include Troy Evans as kind of like bargain bin gadget player? Troy Evans is kind of like a Pharaoh Cooper, I think, in terms of skill set. Pretty good kick returner. Not as fast as you probably think. He's just kind of quick and a good athlete. I think that's Troy Evans right there. Can't remember what number I gave Troy, though. For now, he's getting number 9. By the way, shout out to the Baltimore Ravens. I was watching back some of that game from the weekend against the Bucks. Breaking out like the diamond pistol all the time. They're running the Minnesota Gophers offense. They got Gus Edwards as Alonzo Holland. And they got Lamar Jackson as Andy McKenzie. It's pretty cool. Oh, my Browns rebuild offensive line. Oh, you could be set for years if you can end up with all those guys. Oh, I just saw one I have to include. I have to include Doug Duckett. He's going to be a solid route runner. I think Doug Duckett is going to be kind of a Tyler Boyd. Is that fair? I love comping players for some reason. Makes it easier to visualize. Half this draft class is from the University of Minnesota. Russell Severud. What position was he again? The offensive line, I have a really hard time remembering all their positions. Julian Wall. We could probably fit in Julian Wall. Either a first or second round pick. His comp would have to be Brandon Cooks. Yeah, Shadon Underwood. I gotta throw him up top as well. The Browns rebuild getting some exposure here. I'm actually gonna make a video soon for each channel that kind of shows off what I'm doing on the other channel, because I'm sure there are a lot of you who are like, who are these players? And obviously, if you're a newer subscriber, it's less likely you know about my other channel, whether you're getting familiar with the second channel or not. So I'm going to make a video on each, and then I'll be able to look at the sub growth after making those videos and see just how much maybe people come in and don't realize I do other content on another channel, and therefore I might need to make a video like that every few months. Are these actual players or what? I'm making players that are from series that I've done, and they're all players that I've either recruited, drafted, or played against. And they're all custom. So they're not going to be like, you know, Christian Ponder, who became a star in my Vikings franchise. It's all going to be players you're not going to find elsewhere. You're an actual Twins fan? Yeah, we exist. Yeah. Derek Vance sends a super chat. Put in Isaac Hayes, left guard, Minnesota. He was on the end of a pitch from Philip Nelson and scored a touchdown in year 3 against Michigan, the 5 overtime game. I'm going to write that down. I need to go back and see this. So that's year 3. All right, I'm going to go back to that one. Oh, yeah. Don't make the same mistake I did. If you have a chance to draft Corin Haggerty, don't waste it. He's one of the players that you're going to have in here that I did not select. Doesn't make us remember him any less, though. He did intercept me. What school was he? I can't even remember. I loved the gear I gave him, too, in Jacksonville. Vladimir Mims. That one's a bit more obscure. Might be able to work that one in. Francis Goodwin. That would be another one from the Browns series. I'm just trying to think if I want to include all the Browns stars because we went further in that series than I did anywhere else. Yeah, you tried to cover the ball and pitched it instead. I can't even remember this that well. Wow. Russell Severud was a left end. That's going to be one where I have to dig through and figure out where they came from. I'll write it down. And we'll see if I want to throw them in there. I have not included AJ Ray. I should get some Raiders players in here. I think AJ is the main one a lot of you would want to see. He actually exists in more than just my series because in those days the draft classes were just they were all pre-made. There was like 30 draft classes they made and they were randomized at which one you would get. So AJ Ray exists for others too. Can't remember what number I gave him or school, but AJ Ray, big star in the Raiders series. Oh yeah, I should make Justin Colbert here. And I guess technically now it'd be Texas A&M. Lots of great stuff has happened. Kane, Harlan, Regis. We're starting to get a lot of receivers in here. But yeah, we got to include some Bears for sure. So I might not make them all like elite, but I will figure it out how to make it kind of make sense. I know some positions are going to be somewhat OP. That's okay. But I want this to be a class that isn't going to like wreck your series or your franchise, whatever you're doing with it. Forget the school on Harlan. Bo Lee's already in here. For those of you that are just joining or have just joined recently, this is a custom draft class that I'm making for all of you on the PS4 version. I want to make just a fun class that you can do whatever you want with. You can play with it. You can use it in the YouTube series. You can do whatever you want with it. It's up to you. But just creating different players today. I'm not editing a lot of their information. I'm just getting names in here so I get a framework for this class, and then I can fill in the gaps as we continue. But as long as I know what players I'm customizing and creating, then I can kind of tackle, one at a time. Knock out, a couple players here, a couple players there, get it done, upload it for you. We got to get Tyrone Brightful in here. I'm probably going to make him worse than he was when I drafted him. The way I rate the players, I'm going to try to use the ratings to give them an identity that makes sense for how they were playing in past series. I, in many cases, might just take their exact ratings and plug them in. Bright Bull. Tyrone Brightful. Forget his school, too. Could be anywhere. But I want the ratings to mostly make sense so that when you get these players, you're like, yeah, that's what he was known for. Yep, Dom Carter and Andrew Ross are both in. Who was the inside linebacker that starred in the Pac-12 championship? Must be thinking of Xavier Bozeman. Probably not going to include Bozeman in this quite yet. Sammy Hawthorne, there's one I could consider. I think Sammy's a good choice. Late round. Not going to be the kind of guy that tears up the combine. I think for Sammy, I'll kind of give him some receiver skills too. So if you take him, you can be creative with how you want to use him. And also, if you'd like to become a member on the channel, if you, I'm just going to kind of reiterate what I said earlier in the stream, but if you'd like to become a member, it is an optional way to help support the channel. It is $4.99 a month. You can do it by hitting either the join button next to the subscribe button, or if you're on mobile and that's not showing up, there is a link in the description next to where it says want to become a member, and you can become a member. These are the emojis that are available. I'm putting them in chat right now. If you wish to become a member, you get access to those. You also get access to occasional early video links. Say I get something done at night for the next day, and then I'm uploading it. I might just, a few times a month, I'm going to give out some unlisted links early to videos, and you'll be able to watch them kind of early. Not super early or anything. And then I'm also doing a live stream every month. It's not going to be for a series or anything like that. It's going to be focused on Q&A, talking about the channel, different ideas I have. It's a place for you to leave feedback. And that stream is going to be once a month. This month's is going to be this Saturday, early afternoon before the football games start. And if you become a member, you'll have access to that live stream. And I'll be sending out that link this week in the members only posts is how I'll communicate stuff for channel members, and the rewards and perks might change as we move on here. What about Corey Boyd at safety? Absolutely. Corey Boyd was fantastic. But those channel memberships, that's completely optional. If you do not want to become a member for any reason, you don't really need one, but you're not going to lose out on anything that you've already had watching the channel. All the same videos, access to chat. Your experience will stay the same. Ah yeah, Reggie Carter. Let's get Reggie in here. Need some outside backers. This sadly will not be available on Xbox. It's being made on PlayStation, and you can only access the share on your console, which I hope that in the future it's not like that. You can play where you want to play, but you can also play with your friends on other platforms, or at least have access to something as simple as just files that have no difference from one system to the other. It's all about access. Michael Tate's already created, so is Andy McKenzie. Oh, I almost forgot. I wanted to include some specialists. You know who it is. Shane Wood from the Minnesota Gophers Dynasty. Can't remember what number I gave him, so he's getting number 2 for now. If you add Hayden, John Charles, or Caesar Butler, I'll download this. There he is. Oh, Derek Haynes. Let's include him. Did I include Sam Graves yet? I feel like I didn't create him. Yeah, we'll throw Graves here as a mid-round player. All those recap episodes are going to come in handy when I want to go find ratings. And I can't wait to give Sam Graves different colored sleeves as his trademark look. Harmon Whitaker, that's a big request, and this is for you. So let's get Harmon Whitaker in here. But let's actually make him draftable this time. We're actually going to go pretty high with him. Well, I guess because he was an NFL player, not a college, we'll go later with him, closer to the ratings he began with. He's just going to be not undrafted. Maybe he'll have some quick development there too. Can you edit development? I need to know that. Is it 2 T's? That don't look right. That don't look good either. You can let me know, even though you've probably typed it in here 4,800 times. 2 T's, 1 T, 1 T, 1 T. I think it's 1 T. Okay, I can edit their development. Cool. Important stuff there. Really excited to customize all this stuff, and I want to see what you do with it. I'll have to do something with it as well. I don't know what yet, but we're gonna find something. Maybe we just like start up a franchise and we just like see what happens, and maybe we can watch some games. That might be fun. It would be different, like a spectator series. We'd just go around the league watching various teams play. I think I'd have to have control of a bunch of teams and then let the CPU handle everything, just so I can get into their games and we can watch them play or something. It's just an idea, throwing it out there. Shannon Evans is created already, so is Big Papa. I thought about BJ Sankey, actually. I was just worried about having too many quarterback options. Oh, ratings have not been edited yet, Ben. The ratings, I'm adjusting those later. I'm just getting names in, so then I can pick a couple players at a time and be like, okay, I'm going to get all the information on these guys, get it the way I want it, done. I'll have a spreadsheet for this. I'll do it all. Thank you for the super chat, Cavias. Hope I'm saying that correctly because it sounded cool. Can you get Higdon and Smiley? I thought about those two backs. Smiley never had a huge presence on the team. I feel like I'm going to have every running back in here custom. Higdon is kind of a big what if. I feel like we can fit in Aaron Higdon. Ooh, David McClelland. He went to UAB after transferring away. Well, if you got more yards on your carries, we would have played you more. Super chat from Harold. You should include Fisher Bell. Still salty you did not keep him. I had to make some tough business decisions in that series. I'm sorry. I think Fisher Bell can get a home in here too. For some players, I may have to tone them down just a little bit because I'm not going to have like 5 first-round receivers. Well, 5 isn't necessarily OP for first-round receivers, but you know what I mean? I want to make sure that it's not too heavy in one area. So if I have to go and take Fisher Bell's rookie ratings and tone them down a little bit, I will. Boogie Turner. It's going to be a while before he goes pro. Do we want Boogie in here? Who was the wide receiver who fumbled at the goal line in the national title game versus Georgia? That was Nick Wilkerson. He got some redemption, though. Ooh, Zach Bogan. There are going to be some good returners from this one if we get that going here. Oh, yeah. Before I forget, too, I want to make another good tight end here. Trip Beckett from the Browns series. A lot of people were unhappy I did not keep him around. Can't remember his school either. Let's get Boogie in here. If this goes well, there's a good chance I would also make one on like the next Madden. I obviously would not be able to do just all new players though, because it'd just be so many. Or I'm already taking up a huge chunk of the player pool rather. I know between now and next Madden, we're going to have new players that we love that we've never heard of. My cards series is going to make it happen. I hope the Dolphins can. Cards for sure. Boogie Turner is in. Oh, I suppose 9 isn't going to fly well in the NFL, huh? I'll come back to that one later. Freddie Kimbrough. I don't know about Freddie. He did transfer, but it's not like he was special. But maybe a lot of you want Freddie. What's the verdict on Freddie Kimbrough? Nick Boyle is already in the game, Harold. He's on the Ravens, so he's already in. Why not Maxwell Fowler? This is fun. I feel like cornerback has been neglected outside of the main 2. So let's get David McClelland in there. I saw someone recommend Barry and Secchi. I think that would be good because, well, he was one of those power backs that I'm kind of going to be eliminating. But maybe I can keep one and let it be Barry. Can't remember David's number exactly. But David's going to be like the super athlete. His comp would have to be Byron Jones. Let it be known, by the way, when the Vikings drafted Trey Waynes, that I wanted Byron Jones more than anybody in that spot. I wanted Byron Jones 1. I wanted Marcus Peters 2. can't remember his number that well either. Or school. He's not going to be a second round pick. I just wanted that player type. There's got to be a better way to do this. What's the best way to kind of move players' value around? Is it on this part of the board right here? If I want to alter value and whatnot. Is it best to go by individual position? Oops. I didn't just lose any progress, right? I know I was kind of going between menus and such. No McClellan's there, so let me save and exit quick. Adjust order by position first. I think Rashad Williams is a good one to include too. Don't have a lot of tight ends, but adjust order by position and then by total players. I'll have to see if I'm understanding that right. You may have to explain it to me like I'm 5. Because then you at least have the position in the right order, and then you can just have them drop or raise depending on how you value them. I think I see what you're saying now. Yeah, obviously I want to go by position and be like, this is supposed to be wide receiver 1, wide receiver 2, and then maybe there are some differing values that are hidden somewhere in the mid rounds and such. Okay. And then I go to the big board, and I gotta make sure I don't like leapfrog like a player at a certain spot, I guess. How to make Chris McKnight number 1? Yeah, I got it. I got it. A lot of work to do there. These ratings are not at all final, by the way. They're hardly even started. Got a super chat from Mark. You gonna do a draft episode in a throwaway franchise so we can see who were superstars, quick, etc.? I'm on Xbox, so I can't use this class. I'll do a video and show it off. That way you can kind of use it as a reference. If I go through position by position and go through the custom players, show this stuff off. Also, what I'll do, probably, what might make this a lot easier, I wouldn't even have to do a video for this. Like, I'm going to do a lot of stuff in a spreadsheet because I can organize my information better. But I will label who's superstar, star, quick, normal, and then I'll just give out that list, probably. Yeah, I mean, you're watching me create these players, so you're going to know who's good and who's not. And pretty much all the players that are coming from my series are going to be good players you can use. So, if you wanted to see all that, no problem. Oh, Leonard Howell from the Chargers. There's one. What time is it, by the way? 4:11. Been making players here for a bit. Just reading through some stuff, sorry. I'm seeing some Nate Potters dropped in here. I did draft him. He was from an actual class from NCAA. So I'll likely do another stream where we go through and do some more mass editing. But I'll be doing a lot of it on my own, though, just to get players closer to finished. I'll probably go player by player and just say, okay, I'm going to knock out like these players who are all from the same series and then get all their information, get the customization down. Customization is going to be harder because I'm probably not going to see equipments for all these players. So what I think I'll mostly stream is designing the looks for players, which I already know that's going to be somewhat of a mess because there's going to be so many recommendations for helmets and different things. But if you can at least point out like, okay, this guy needs his sleeve or this guy needs his visor, that can probably be a good spot for that. Make sure HJC has no gloves. Don't worry about that. I got that taken care of. Oh, Marquis Starling, huh? And then, of course, I have to rate everything and rank everything. And if you're watching this back on YouTube and you want to recommend a player that you didn't see created in here, feel free. I'm not saying that these are the only players that are going to be in the class. I know there are some positions I've hardly edited. So just leave your recommendations down below. Ralph Hendricks. We got to get some more corners in here. Let me get Caesar Butler made first. I'm late. What did I miss? If possible, please summarize. Thanks. Thank you for the super chat, T-Ray. Just basically, I'm making this custom class here for the community, for them to do whatever they choose to do with it. And I'm just making players from a variety of different series, whether they were drafted by me or they were recruited. And I just want to make this class for you guys. So I'm just getting names in here right now. I'm not doing ratings, appearances, not editing really anything. I'm just getting names. So when I go through to finish off players, I can at least know who I'm working with. Oh, I love including Glenn Hayes. I think he's another hybrid type player you could be creative with. We'll probably make him a mid-round pick coming out of Kalispell. Let's go back to tackle and put in Dalen Hoyt. Emilio Benjamin's not a bad idea. We had to find more corners, and Emilio could be kind of a second rounder. Man, there have been so many series and so many players. Can't believe I can still remember most of this stuff. Rosario Dorsey was a guard, right? I can't even remember what series he was. I want to say he was with the, wow, 4 draftable guards. I want to say Rosario Dorsey was a Panther. Anything post-stream? Just Cardinals on second channel, but I need like 15 minutes to finish editing it. Oh, don't worry. We got Garrett. We have Corin Haggerty in here. He's going to be a part of it. He was Panthers. I've seen this a few times. How about a late round quarterback by the name Torque Lewis? I know it's supposed to be Lewis, but for some reason we went Lewis in the Blitz the League series. I'll have to watch that video back to know what school he went to, by the way. Hopefully a real one. And I think that also from the Blitz the League series, but also UTSA, we could include Vince Taylor. Oops. I'm seeing all these undrafted running backs. They're all an opportunity to make greatness happen. Just remember that. Gotta give Vince Taylor that long sock look too. The long sock look is good look. Works in baseball. We need some more star players to pull off the look. We can put in Ralph Hendricks. That's a little more obscure reference. Not totally, but we never really saw a lot of him. I may have to wing it on the ratings for him. Did I not make Donnie Castillo? We got Hayden John Charles, Trip Beck. I got Donnie in here. We've been going long enough, I can forget stuff. What about tight end Marcus Williams? I feel he never gets any love from the Minnesota series. I also think at tight end we should include a very good tight end that I don't think I've seen his name brought up. There's a good chance it has been. How can we forget Michael Riley? We could use a late round corner. Let's go Cam Davenport. A lot of players here. Oh, Adam Kirkpatrick. There's one that I did not think of. I think we're both good at tight end. We have a lot here now, suddenly. Ooh, I got one. I got one. I need some more help with this position, by the way. We got to get some fullbacks in here. I remember in the episode that Andy McKenzie got hurt. Like, just a little bit later, Will Hartman broke off like a 40-yard run, and I had to get excited again, even though I was, like, really not excited because of the McKenzie injury. I remember that night still, like, playing that game. I remember I was having a really fun time because I'm like, there's so much good gameplay here. We got Alonzo Hollins opening touchdown. McKenzie's tearing it up. And then when he got hurt, like, the rest of my night was just, like, worse as a result. Tank Tucker. We got to include the tank. I'm not sure if I want him at running back or fullback, though, so let's hold off on that one. Joe Preston. There's a name. Remember when I did a stream and I said that Joe Preston is in Preston? And I didn't get many people to appreciate that. Malcolm Maley wasn't a tight end, although he was almost tight end size. Derek Vance, best backup quarterback, Andrew Johnson or Andy Beckwith. I go Andrew Johnson on that one. And from Chris, what about that running back that the Titans took before you, something Rich? Yeah, Abraham Rich. We never really got to see him a ton. Didn't like turn into like a superstar. Well, maybe he did, but we didn't really see a lot of him. Don't think I'll be including him. We have a lot of running backs from my actual series. Y'all are going to have to fill in the gaps here on this Tom Adamo. I don't know who that is. Seen a few Sonny Archers out there. Might not be bad as like a 7th round receiver. The comp, Stacy Coley, another 7th round receiver. I know he wore number 3, but I kind of want to keep it at least somewhat consistent here with the rules. Or maybe I don't care. You know, I had a feeling it was from Not the Expert series. I just had a feeling. I think I can remember a few names from his, but not as well as a lot of you. But yeah, he's doing a lot of cool stuff with that series. Your sync is off, by the way. That ain't cool. Is it better now? I really hope so. So are we thinking when the college hoops gets in and I create the Kalispell team that we're going to make that into a streaming deal? Is that what you guys think would be the most fun? I thought about it as kind of a series for the second channel or something, but I'm like, do I really have time to do something like that? Streaming might be the best option that fits. And then it also would keep Kalispell on this channel. I like that one. Keyston Holiday. We can include some players here that I never got to fully develop the way I wanted to. Donovan Ashley falls into that category too. Not sure the spelling on Holiday. I think it was 2 L's on him. Could be wrong. Cannot remember the school though. Sync's still a little off. I have no idea why. No, this draft class is not going to have a ton of college variety. A lot of Minnesota, a lot of Montana State, a lot of UTSA. I think Kevin Martindale's a big request too. Who was the running back that Cummings replaced? Give me a minute. That would have been... I can't remember. He came back though at one point, remember? Man. Ace Harrison, yeah. It was Ace. I was thinking of a different running back, I think. But yeah, we had some good years with Ace Harrison, but then we got to see what an elite running back was all about. Is Mahomes MVP? I believe so. For a while, I thought that they were going to give it to Breeze, but I don't think that the way the season has ended to this point, that Breeze has made his Hall of Fame case. I think ever since the 500 touchdown thing happened, he's kind of just taken a back seat, throwing some, like, you know, couple 100-yard games, nothing too special. That, and they've also had some bad outings when they lost to the Rams specifically, and or not the Rams, the Bears, I mean, and the Cowboys. Or the Bears didn't play the Saints, I don't think, this year. They lost to the Cowboys, though, in that really bad game. And then they haven't lost much. I think they just lost the 2 games. Reggie McLaughlin, you need more pass rushers. I do need more edge rushers. Not sure if this is the right spelling or not, but I'll double check anyway when I check out his ratings. So I will be adding some more players to this, but I think that's all I'm going to do today. We got a ton of names in here now, and I can start going by, you know, through the list and start creating players and adding some more as I want to. But we're going to have a really cool class here, and I think we're going to figure out something to do with this. Let me get Dante Rooks as well. But, we'll do some more streaming here when I want some help with the creation. But if you're watching this again after it's over, be sure to leave more feedback on players you'd like to see added. I'm still looking to add more. Yeah, this will be a fun thing to unleash, and then you can do what you want with it. And I think we'll find something to do with it here on the channel. Maybe it's just like starting up a franchise and then just simulating and seeing what happens with various players, who becomes Rookie of the Year, who leads all the categories. Might not take a ton of time to do. It could be certainly a lot of fun. Cardinal series will be posted later tonight. I need to finish up that video quick and then render it out and upload it. But that is going to do it for today's live stream, everybody. Thank you for all the conversation today, all the support. I appreciate you. Lots of channel members and super chats, so I really do appreciate that. And I wanted to make this week a lot busier on the channel. I know lately there haven't been a ton of videos over here, but this week I wanted to return to giving you some stuff to watch. So more Kalispell, Twins franchise. I'm not sure if I have a video coming out tomorrow, but I'll certainly be working on the Twins franchise episode. So there's more to come later this week. Saturday early afternoon is going to be the members live stream. It's going to be before the football games start, and it's going to be a stream for those that become channel members. We're going to do some Q&A. We're going to talk about the channel and talk about the series that I'm doing and some ideas that I have. And we'll just have some good discussion, but it's not going to be a spot to really, you know, do anything in this series. It's going to be for conversating. So that's going to do it for today, everybody. Thank you all. I appreciate you as always, and I'll be seeing you again soon.